I'm Emilee Wells.
And I'm Briana Rangel.
And this is Hoofbeat News.
My name's Colton Clairmont.
Hey, it's Emilee.
Hi, my name is Javier Hernandez.
I'm Akacia Schauermann.
I'm Prouty.
Hi, I'm Gaby.
I'm Crone. Hi, I'm Uriah Celestino.
Today is Tuesday, April 6th, and we're back with another episode of Hoofbeat News.
Up first today, Akacia gives us insight of the most exciting activity of the year.
The day of prom is quickly approaching. Prom is being held Saturday, April 17th. The Grand March is from 7 to 8 p.m. and the dance is from 8 to 11 p.m. Make sure to buy your tickets. If you buy in advance, it will be $30 per couple and $20 for singles. If you buy your tickets at the door, they will be $25 per person.
My name is Kristen Frasco. I am involved with prom because I'm the class president, and it's up to the junior class to plan.
I'm most excited for the actual dance itself. I think it's gonna be really fun. So this year our theme is Diamonds Are Forever. So pretty much it's a really elegant, we have diamonds and flowers with rose petals, and it's just supposed to be a really elegant theme.
It's very elegant. It's the main colors are black, white, and red. And we have with the decorations. We have kissing balls, which are these rose balls, and then there's gonna be sets, and we have big diamond chandeliers, and there's lights, and it's gonna be really, really pretty.
After prom is being held from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. on April 17th following the prom event. After prom is open to all students and is being held in the high school gym. Seniors and juniors are free, freshmen and sophomores are $10. Join us for a night of prizes and fun.
Thanks, Akacia. Now, Brock is sharing some helpful tips to help reduce stress while taking the SAT.
Good morning, everybody. As you all know, SATs are right around the corner, and there's no better time than now to get some extra studying in. That's why this week I wanted to talk about some of the best ways that you can prep for the SAT, and I also asked some teachers and students how they felt about the SAT. First off, I do want to recommend that you take one of those practice SAT tests that you can find on Khan Academy. In fact, check out this chart right here that shows you how much improvement you can actually have by using these tests. Next, I asked Mr. Ossip some questions about the SAT. Why is the SAT important for students' futures?
The SAT is important for students' futures because it's something that colleges will directly look at when they're reviewing applications, and it sort of implies the extent of your learning in a couple of different subject areas.
What are the most common concerns you hear from students about the SAT?
The most common concerns that I hear from students are they think they're going to fail, what's going to happen if I fail, stuff like that. They get worried that the questions are too hard, or worried about test anxiety taking over. There's a little bit of pressure with this one, and I think that once the actual SAT comes up, it starts to feel pretty real, so they get pretty nervous about it.
What's the best way to combat the stress brought on by the SAT?
I think the best way to combat stress during any test is just remembering that your life is going to go on. Whether your test score is better than you want it to be, worse than you want it to be, or right where you want it to be, everything's going to work out. It's not the sole factor that determines whether or not you get into your dream college. It's definitely not something that most employers are going to look at when you interview for a job, and it just kind of is going to come. You're going to take it, and it'll be over.
In your opinion, what's the best way to prepare?
I think the best way to prepare is to just be learning in school, and there's resources online to try to do some practice questions and stuff like that. It always helps to come in knowing what to expect when you take the test, but a lot of times trying to cram for something like the SAT isn't really going to work out because you either already know the stuff or you don't.
Thanks for the interview, Ossip. Along with him, I also asked some students some questions about the SAT as well. Hey, Olivia. What's your biggest concern about the SAT?
Failing. My biggest concern about the SAT is making sure I get a good enough score.
What do you think the best way is to combat the stress brought on by the SAT?
Plan
plan ahead your study schedule and like don't overthink anything and just kind of realize that this test won't define you even if it feels like it does.
The best way to prepare is probably using Khan Academy or like booklets, just like looking at the tips and tricks.
Hey Jesse,
Yeah?
what's your biggest fear about the SAT?
Well, honestly, I'm just worried about the other students and making them feel bad because of my score.
Thank you everyone for the interviews this week, and sadly that's all I've got time for today. Thanks for watching my video this week, and I'll see you all later.
Thanks, Brock.
Next, Johnny informs us about the construction that is happening at our school.
Construction has started on the northern end of the building. Let's find out what it's for. Mr. Anderson, what is this construction for?
The main focus for the construction project is trying to create a secure entrance into the Fort Morgan High School. Currently, we have our office, the main office is located connected to an interior wall, and given the world that we live in today, that we need to create a more secure environment, the office needed to be relocated to an exterior wall. And so also relocating the office down near the cafeteria would allow us to be off the main street and kind of more of a secure environment for people entering the building.
How long will this construction last?
So construction has been going on for the last week or so. It started the Monday of spring break. They came in and they had to remove, start working on some of the different walls, and now till the end of school year they're going to be working out in the courtyard because we're going to be adding some square footage to the building, but overall the project should be done by around August 4th is the target date. So definitely before students and teachers are back in the building for the 21-22 school year.
When will the new office be fully functional?
It will be fully functional before the kids return to school next school year, but I would imagine it'll take us a few days just to get everything, desks set up and computers going and getting everything ready to go. But definitely before students return next school year, we'll be fully functional and ready to rock and roll.
How will moving the main office affect the office staff and students?
Well, I think for one, it's going to be an easier flow because it's all going to be centralized in one location.
I think it will be safer for all involved because it'll only be one entrance. So we'll see parents, visitors, students, everybody at one central place.
It'll just be a much easier function for everyone involved.
The new office and counseling office will be built in August, right before the start of a new school year. Here is how it will look when all the construction is done. This is a reminder to stay off the construction site and do not trespass. It can endanger yourself and the workers around you. So please, do your part and stay off the construction site so the workers can do their part. This is Johnny Prouty, Hoofbeat News.
Thanks, Johnny.
Finally, Gaby takes a look at a unique person in our student body, Javier.
Javier Lomeli is a senior at Fort Morgan High School. He is actively involved in the community.
Some of the activities I'm involved in would be LULAC, boys soccer, kids at their best, and church activities.
Javi will tell us more about how he manages his busy schedule.
I usually organize my time by doing schoolwork during the mornings, soccer in the afternoons, and work in the evenings. And during the weekends, I do all my church activities.
Javi's not only involved in school, he has done a lot for the community as well.
I'm involved in my community by being involved in a nonprofit organization called Kids at Their Best. I was also part of a board committee to build a new park here in Morgan County. In my free times, I volunteer at the rec center for their soccer programs, and I am also involved in food pantries here in Morgan County.
I talked to one of Javi's friends to see what is Javi like outside of school.
Javi, outside of school, he's like a really kind-hearted person, and usually like if you need help with something, he would be the first person you ask because he's like really helpful. And he's always nice to us. My favorite thing about Javi is he always has a smile on his face, so like it just brightens up your day, you know. And then like with me, he usually like helps me a lot. So he's like a very helpful person, and like I said, he's like very kind-hearted. My favorite memory with Javi is like last year we were playing soccer, and since he was the captain, he would like uplift everyone. And then like one game I got like really mad, and then like he just told me to keep my head up, and that's probably my favorite memory because like it'll always stay in my heart forever because he's like really nice, and then he helped me like overcome my emotions.
One last thing Javi shared with us was one piece of advice for anyone who would want to contribute to the community.
Some advice I would give to students would be to volunteer and be involved in the community, because that's a good way to make your community a better place.
Thanks, Gaby.
That's all the news we have for you today.
We will see you next week for another episode of Hoofbeat News.
From all of us here at Hoofbeat, have a great week, FMHS.